What is going on, guys? It's me, Paki here, and welcome to week number 3 of the PBA. Your NI Ariados R2, and it was the first time I've actually went 2-0 in any season so far, although this is technically my second season overall, and for my SDL season I have went positive, so, congrats to me. I'll probably have my playoffs video going up. It's probably already been up, but I'm recording this before my playoffs video goes off, so can't wait for that. But I did make it to playoffs somehow. So my opponent is today Infernia. He is the coach of the Paki Mawiles. You guys can hear the change in the music. That is because I forgot his name. Sorry, but Infernia's got a very scary team. Of course, he's got Darkrai. As you guys know, I had Darkrai for the 1 week I was in DGBA before I left because of exams, and because I literally had about eight exams in a week to do. But he has got Darkrai. Of course, cannot use any sleep-inducing moves, nor can it use nasty plot, but it's still an insane Carmine Sweeper. It can also use Sword Stance to hit with that physical attack. Great Pursuit Trapper, very fast with base 125. It's got Rotomosh, very bulky, can also be a great Scarfer. Porygon too, as you guys know, can be a very bulky Special Ball or Physical Ball. Only really weak to fighting type moves or knockoff, can't really be set up on because it can get both beating coverage and also stab try to attack. It's pretty hard. Blaziken is a Z-Mon, of course. Blaziken being a very hard hitting Mon. His Blaze, however, cannot be speed boost, so it has only a base 80 speed. But still another tremendous Scarfer, very good type synergy, can hit very hard with good stabs. Muck is his other tier 4 Pokemon. Muck, of course, being a special wall, can curse up and destroy a lot of teams with Breast, Talk, and Curse, and also can Poison Jab with Poison Touch, having a 51% poison chance of Poison Jab. And it also gets some other cool utility moves as well. Also, just a very fast water type Pokemon, doesn't hit that hard, just a very good low tier water type Pokemon if you do need it. It can also be a secondary water type, as we've seen also Infernia has picked up. It is one of the very few water types that actually goes well with another water type, just because it's a very unique water type in the fact that it's very fast and has a lot of utility and taunt. Roar, I guess you can use. It can also hit on the physical and special side with setup, bulk up as well. Ariados is, of course, an incredible defogger, very bulky, and also it can set up with Calm Minds as well. Roost is pretty annoying, and it also can get Healing Wish, so it can Healing Wish out into that Blaziken, or Healing Wish out into that Darkrai, which is probably the scariest thing, and potentially a second life, which is kind of scary. We've got Gliscor, of course. It can be your Toxic Orb variant with Sword Stance. It can hit very hard. It can also run Hypercolor Defog as well, and also gets reliable recovery with Roost if Toxic Orb wasn't enough. Golurk is next. Very good spin blocker, very good attacker. Choice Band Iron Fist boosted. Shadow Punches and Dynamic Punches are hard to switch into. It also gets no boost, which essentially means that this Pokemon's accuracy is 100% every single time. So it can hit 100% accurate Stone Edges, and it can hit 100% accurate Dynamic Punches. Sorry. Next pick is Bellossom, and very underrated Quiver Dancer. It can utilize the sun pretty well because it does get chlorophyll. Just hits pretty weak, but after a few setups it can hit relatively hard against a Pikachu and an Energy Ball. It gets an okay amount of coverage, and it can also set up the sun itself. I believe it does get Synthesis as well, and potentially Aromatherapy. I haven't really done my research too much into Bellossom, but it definitely gets Synthesis, I do remember. And Mawile, finally, the Mega Mawile. For some reason we allowed it in this draft. Well, I did, because this is my league, of course. But we picked up Mega Mawile, incredible Pokemon, hits very hard with huge power. Essentially, this thing at +2, like, there's barely any switch-ins, and anything that can potentially hit it very hard and potentially OHKO it will suffer from a huge power boosted +2 Sucker Punch coming off this thing, and its stabs also very hard, gets some pretty good coverage with the Elemental Fangs and other things like that. It can also intimidate in its regular form and then go into its mega form, so then that means that you have to attack it with -1 Mon or switch out, which gives you a free Sword Stance. Very good on the Trick Room. I believe his Porygon 2 is a good Trick Room setter, so that's a very scary core, but let's go get into the team. Okay, so first up we have got Megalovania, my Gardevoir, so a pretty similar set this week as you're actually going to see me explain something funny to you guys. So don't get me wrong, I preach about creativity a lot, and if you've got a little Pokemon in Draft League format and you only have to pick 6, you might as well switch up some things, you know, bring some extra Pokemon. And personally, I've tried drafting some pretty cool Pokemon like Stoutland and Alolan Sandslash that I haven't used much, but this is where my creativity kind of flops, and you kind of realize that I'm just ran out of creative ability and just brought the same 6 Pokemon as I did for my week 1 battle. Like, I didn't even intentionally do it, but, you know, and they're going to be running some different sets though. So my Megalovania, my Gardevoir, is a Choice Scarf Gardevoir. Of course, this thing has nuked things in the past, and I hope it will nuke things today. It's got enough speed so I can outspeed as Choice Scarf Blaziken, and also just got max special attack so I can destroy things. I believe the special and the speed also helps it so I can outspeed Darkrai, which is an incredible thing because if Darkrai takes a Moonblast, then it can probably just go down. I can trick this Choice Scarf onto things like the Porygon too, because as you guys know, I don't really have a good knockoff user except Tangela, so I can trick. Also, if Megalovania gets weak, then I can fire off a Choice Scarf boosted Healing Wish. So that basically means that Megalovania should be able to get up a Healing Wish without anything knocking it out before it can get it off. The only thing that gets priority on his team, I believe, is Mega Mawile. I mean, he can Aqua Jet with Floatzel, but I don't believe Floatzel will be coming. If anything, Rotom Wash will be coming because it's a huge threat. But apart from Floatzel, I believe the only Pokemon on his team that gets priority is Mega Mawile, Sucker Punch, and this isn't an attacking move, so Sucker Punch will fail. So Megalovania is going to be very useful. I can also trace some pretty cool things like if he sets up Sun, then I can trace the Chlorophyll off the Bellossom. Also, I can. What else could I trace? I guess I could trace like things like Toxic or Toxic Boost or what is the thing? Toxicale. That's the thing. I can potentially trace Toxicale off Gliscor and be able to restore my health if I am poisoned, so that's pretty nice. Next up we've got Exino, my Tangela today. If I like fully specially defensive Tangela, of course, as you guys have probably heard me preach enough times now, Tangela's got enough defense so that I don't have to really invest too much into it. This thing is going to be my main response to Rotom Wash. I am fearing him bringing, of course, a Choice Star variant of Rotom Wash to try and trick onto my Tangela, because him too, he doesn't really have a good knockoff user. So might try and switch around a bit just to make sure that I definitely know if this thing is Choice Scarf or not. Like, I might switch the Helllock my Tyranitar a bit just to see if he is actually running the trick. But I've got Knockoff, Giga Dreams, and Assistant HC. This Pokemon is just going to be hopefully chipping down my opponent. Tangela, of course, the Pokemon is not going to lead the league in kills or anything, but it will do work in shipping down teams, and it has done work against Kier before. It's taken many hits and has definitely got up Seeds and toxic things before. It also knocked off the Dusclops and Violite, which is very handy, because like that, then Slowbro probably wouldn't have been able to crit knock it out. So just some very good moves I have on Tangela, and I hope that I can do some work on this match. So next up we have got Galaxy, my Slowbro, with the Cobra Berry. This Cobra Berry is actually pretty useful with this Spaghetti investment, because it means I live a modest hit from Darkrai when it's firing off a Dark Pulse. So that's good, because then that means that I can potentially fire off a Scald or something, deal quite a bit of damage to Darkrai. I believe, like with Scald, I deal about 35% damage, which is some pretty good sizable damage. So I can also just, I can bring in the regular NU variant of Slowbro, except maybe you might be running something instead. You might be running Psyshock instead of Psychic, but this just hits his team a lot harder. And also I can set up Carmine and Vaporeon too if I do wish. Lust is my Scolipede today, and we're not bringing a Sweeper Scolipede, we're bringing more of an offense, not an offensive, more support Scolipede. It has got Protect, so I can get the speed boost off, which is very useful in case he's going to bring Scarf Blaziken, Scarf Rotom Wash, or Darkrai, potentially with the Scarf, so I can get Protect, and then I can get +1 speed boost, no problem. I can set up Spikes, because apart from Latias and potentially Gliscor, which means that he has to run Hypercut at Gliscor, he has no other hazard removal, so that means that I can try and Spike spam against him. Bulginium Z Mega Horn was basically for the Rotom Wash in case he is about to Rotom Wash, and I kind of struggle to take it down, especially if it has Pain Split, because Pain Split is the end of my team right now with the Pain Split Dusclops in week 1. But if he does bring that, then Bulginium Z Mega Horn should be doing around 80%, which would be really good, and you wouldn't really want to Pain Split up against the Scorpion, you probably just want to hit it. So next up we've got Helllock, my Tyranitar. This time I intentionally made it a different name last time. I've got Grimlock, Dreadlock, and now Helllock, because last time my original Mega Tyranitar name for it was Dreadlock. Then I forgot the name of it, so I just put down Grimlock last week. And this week I just decided to meme it out and decided to put in Helllock. This time, instead of bringing an offensive Mega Tyranitar like we have been bringing for the past 2 weeks, with things like Toxic and Stealth Rocks and Pursuit, this time we have got a Dragon Dancing variant, which I hope to do that can put in a lot of work versus his team, because if we can get up a Dragon Dance, we'll be doing some crazy things. With Edge Crit coverage and Ice Punch, there's not really much I can switch into this Pokemon +1. And hopefully Mega Tyranitar can prove itself, because currently Mega Tyranitar has been sent to 2 games, and he hasn't knocked out any Pokemon as far as I know, and he's lost, and he's got 2 deaths, 0 wins, and he's been brought to 2 games, so hopefully I can bring back some differential for its sake and get off the Dragon Dance sweeps. We've got enough speed, so plus when we can outspeed the Darkrai, just some defense investments, so we can let an Earthquake from the Golurk easier if it is like a weird Life Orb Golurk variant or something like that. And finally we've got Quantum, my Zapdos, my hazard remover of today. Honestly, I've just been bringing the same darn Zapdos set every week, except last week we actually got Air Cutter instead of Hidden Part Ice. This is the exact same set as we did bring for our week number 1 match against Kier. If you have not watched it, definitely go watch it, because it was a nail-biting finale. But Quantum's got Defog, Roost, Volt Switch, and Hidden Part Ice. Hidden Part Ice for the Latias, for the Gliscor, for the Golurk, and Volt Switch just so it can be annoying. Because, you know, you can bring Thunderbolts and Zapdos, but unless you're bringing an offensive variant, 90% of the time you're just going to be clicking Volt Switch anyway. So, I figured I might as well just bring Volt Switch instead of anything else. So, this has done work before, and hopefully it can both through some attacks against Zapdos. It's not going to leave the league in kills. It's definitely going to play its part in removing rocks, so it can help out Lust, and he can set up yeah, those rocks be pretty annoying. I was about to say he can set up some other types of hazards, but I'm just like slowly scrolling through his team in my mind, and he hasn't got any spikes, toxic spikes, or sticky web setters. So only rocks I have to fear, but still 25% against Zapdos, and my ever important Z's or Scolipede would be annoying. I've got a fully special defensive Zapdos just so I can tank hits from the Rotom Wash. If it is a bulky variant, then I can definitely take Hydro Pumps, and I can also take Will-O-Wisps, no problem, because I'm special attacking Zapdos, which is electric and flying, so I'm not both its stabs aren't super effective versus me, and I don't fear burn, and I can roost up on it if I need to. So let's go without further ado into the battle. Okay guys, so we have now gone to the game, and he has brought more, I was about to say Mogwai, what? I put Mega and Mawile together and just came out with Mogwai, rest in peace Mega Mogwai, but we've got Mega Mawile, Golurk, Darkrai, Blaziken, Blossom, and Latias. So there's a few things I can already tell from this team. Latias is most likely a defensive Latias, as it is the only Pokemon, is the only Pokemon that is carrying Defog on his team. And if you're going up against this team with Scolipede, you really need to bring hazard removal in case you get Toxic Spikes stacked. And then with my Mega Tyranitar, you also feel getting Stealth Rock set up on you. Also, his Golurk is more than likely a defensive Golurk, so that means I can easily live with this Earthquake from a defensive variant of Golurk, because if it is a leftovers variant, even if it is max attack, my Mega Tyranitar with its investment can live it. And also, I can set up a Dragon Dance on it potentially, or I can just fire off an Ice Punch and do some insane damage. So So his Golurk is most likely his defensive rock setter, because if it is a choice banded variant, then that means that his Mega Mawile is carrying. I said it again, darn it! His Mega Mawile is most likely carrying rocks, and you don't want to set up rocks with your Mega unless it's like a Mega Aggron. Darkrai, of course, very scary, because he sent me the battle in Ubers, and I was like, oh crap, this is Darkrai that we're facing. And I was super scared for, don't know why I said that with an accent, but I was super scared for Scarf Darkrai, because it outspeeds Scolipede, I believe, after +2 potentially. I'll have to check, I might be wrong. And it also outspeeds my Choice Scarf Gardevoir, and Darkrai also gets Poison Jab, so that was a Sword Stance boost. Could be annoying, even if it was a subset of Sword Stance, which I was considering bringing from the DGBA. But let's get right into the battle. I definitely think that I have the upper hand in this battle. He doesn't really seem to have anything good for my Tangela necessarily, except Blaziken, which then gives me a free swap out to Slowbro. My Regenerator's core is going to be very annoying for him to break. The only thing that can really break it, funnily enough, is most likely Blossom. So, which he for some reason brought, even though I have essentially a sand team. But let's go straight into this battle. Also, no Road and Wash, that's pretty good. And his team seems to lack priority, so that's very good. So I lead off my Mega Tyranitar, get my Unnerve off. So if that Golurk is Cobra Berry, then it will not be Cobra Berry anymore. I go into a Mega Evolve, and I just set up a Dragon Dance, knowing that he can this is a defensive Golurk. So either he is going to set up his rocks here, or he's going to hit me with an Earthquake. As I said previously, this should be a defensive Golurk, so I should be able to live in one Earthquake, as he just sets up rocks, most likely predicting to exchange rocks. Ice Punch comes off and it knocks him out. It was a crit, that crit did not matter. I calculated I did like 105% minimum at +1, so I knocked that out. As in comes in Darkrai. I was scared, of course, of this thing being scarfed with Focus Blast, but I do knock it out with a Stone Edge, and that crit definitely did not matter, because Darkrai is frail, and Stone Edge from it's a Mega Tyranitar, let's just put it that way. So Mawile comes out, but of course I got Edgequake coverage with Ice Punch. This actually destroys his team a lot, so I go for my Earthquake and I knock out the Mawile. I know that Sucker Punch that most will probably be doing only like 15-20%. So I knock out the Mega Mawile. I said it again, darn it! So out comes Blossom, hoping to take a hit, but of course, as you guys know, Grass is weak to Ice. Sorry for that quick skip, but I get the Ice Punch, knock out the Blossom. I know he only has his Blaziken and his Latias left, and as he actually gets my Sandstorm down. So out comes Blaziken. Of course, I'm scared of this thing being scarfed as well, but you know, I've got 4 kills, I might as well just stay and finish up the job. I knock out Blaziken, and his final Pokemon is Latias. Now, this thing might have hidden power fighting, and if it is a bulky variant, it may be able to knock me out hidden power fighting and survive the hit. As it does survive the hit, I get a freeze, but it doesn't matter, because after the game he told me he was Defog, Roost, Calm Mind, and Psyshock, which doesn't really make the most amount of sense, considering I have a Gardevoir, which can set up a Calm Mind on it, and that also is a Pursuit Trap fodder for my Mega Tyranitar, or Dragon Dance fodder, so I may or may not have won in 8 turns with a 6-0, and everyone was like messaging, like either in the chat or PMing me, they're like, oh my goodness, you are a legend, you just 6-0'd this guy and just killed him. I feel sorry for you, sorry XD Infernape, I really hope that you get a few kills for like the rest of the season. Hope you get off some nice wins with the Pokemon as well. So thanks guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, any moment, make sure you click that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. I have the code, guys, so I'm sorry if my commentary wasn't up to standards, and if I struggled on some words like Mega Mawile. I'm just gonna quit this video right here. See you guys.